Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no woman, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no woman, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like
having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not.
I'm only familiar with one royal.
I don't know too much about that one.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. How's everyone today? We're doing well. Hi, Connie Barmer. Yes, good wishes for the new year to you and everyone. I think 2023 is going to be a very good year with challenges as always, but overall a very good year. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hope you've got your matcha, your mimosa, your coffee, your tea, whatever it is you are drinking. I am 95% ready to go. I'm still running around doing things, but trying to keep calm and not panic. Everything will be all right on the day. Blessings to you too, Cynthia. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you as always to the mods. Cinderella, it's warmer here. Yeah, at least the snow is gone here in the UK and the ice has melted. So it's a little bit more mild here than what it was. It was biting cold, had the heating up to max. Can't wait to get that gas bill this month. Yay! Yay for high gas bills. Like, for real, y'all. I feel so much for the people that actually had to use warm banks. I can't even believe that's a reality. Even, the day before yesterday, I went to get my nails done, and I realized in the nail salon, like, the heating wasn't on. And I've noticed this in a lot of businesses now. They're not putting the heating on. How sad is that? Everyone's pinching those pennies. Anyway, I did go out yesterday with Rebecca Squaddy. Had a lovely evening out. It was really nice to actually meet a Squaddy in person. And I hope to meet more of you, hopefully in Dusseldorf next year. And just to meet somebody else who's just so passionate about the squad. And I mean, she has one of the biggest accounts, I think, in the whole squad, if not the biggest, going up to almost 400,000. And it was interesting to hear about her backstory and why she started it. She actually started it the day of the wedding. And I think what everybody loves about her posts is that they're just so detailed, so detailed. And I think that's what sets her apart from everyone else. So it's great to see another UK squaddy. She doesn't like being shown in photographs, so I'm sorry I can't show you a picture of her. But she is very fabulous and very lovely, and I had a great evening with her. So thank you to Rebecca. Right, on to squad. Oh, let me put before we really get going, let me just put the link. So anyone that wants to come up, you can come and talk and join the chat. It's Call In Fridays. You can come in and join the chat. Let's try and keep it light and airy today, folks. You can rant and rave, but rant and rave in a funny way. Let's have one of those call-in days. Right, so you can jump in if you'd like to hit the link. Let me just put that on. Let me pin it to the top. Alrighty. Right, on to today's news. I saw this came up on the feed. I think this was somebody's Christmas present, a squaddy who got it for another. I think it was either squaddy who got it for another squaddy or someone's son or daughter that got it for them. I think this is absolutely adorable. So cute. I would want something like this, but maybe with different outfits. Maybe not with the wedding outfits. Maybe like the last engagement they had in the UK when Meghan was wearing the green cape. But absolutely adorable. I love these bobbleheads. Also, does anybody have an update on this? That Wall Street Journal editor who posted about Prince William going through the rose bushes has not been seen or heard from since. Don't know what's going on with that. This tweet absolutely blew up, like almost 250,000 views, but have not seen or heard from her since. Does anybody know what's going on with that? Was she fired? Was she paid off? What's going on with that? I hope she's okay. Also, there was a segment on Good Morning Britain with Camilla Tominey is a liar, and I think this is a Mr. Tom, and they were talking about Harry's upcoming memoir. Camilla Tominey is a liar, as usual, commenting on a book she's never read. But it was really interesting. The gentleman here had a bit of a Freudian slip, and it was really funny. So I want you to just listen to what they said. Let me just put it up. Have a listen to this.
36. Yeah, how much is paid for it? 36 million. Right. So, I mean, any publisher is going to want a little bit of meat on that. Oh, yeah, there's going to be meat. But to be fair, it's going to be a compelling read just to have his version of events of growing up in a growing up with paparazzi, of his mother's death, of walking behind the coffin. That's what I think it's. I wouldn't mind reading the inside story from his voice on meeting Meghan. Is he going to flesh out a little bit as to why these two couples fell out so spectacularly? That could be damaging for the Prince and Princess of Wales. I bet there's going to be an attack on the so-called men and graces at the palace, and there is going to be an enormous attack on the media making their life.
Maybe there needs to be. You know, and again, when we saw the...
On the media,
no, but maybe they're not... Whoa. Hang on, wait. Maybe there needs to be an attack on the...
Now, did you hear how offended Camilla Tominey got when she thought that he said maybe there needs to be an attack on the media? I mean, there absolutely needs to be an attack on the media. Absolutely there needs to be. And I can't believe that in a situation like that, still, nobody had the balls to bring up the fact that it was Camilla Tominey that wrote that article about the Grenfell women being linked to terrorists. They were literally getting death threats after that. A group of women who just came out for their community. And nobody seems to be holding Camilla Tominey accountable for this. She's being allowed to sit on this couch here, smiling and yapping away. No repercussions for what she did to those women or their community. Women who were just trying to do their best after one of the worst tragedies in living UK memory. She continues to be allowed to just sit here and smile and laugh away. Disgraceful. Also, still looking for so-called royal experts. This is a Mr. Adam Chapman who wrote, seeking comments from royal expert insider on Meghan and Harry developments. #journal request. Writes for the Daily Express. One of the worst Harry and Meghan hater publications out there. Constantly pumping out nonsense. And they're still looking for so-called royal experts that have no access. And it's been proven that they have no access. And we had 6 whole done episodes of the Netflix documentary proving that they have no access. And here you are, still seeking comment from royal experts. Oi. To your comments. I can see you in the back, Joe Bloss. The glass needs to be bigger. Indeed it does. Listen, one porn star martini was more than enough for me. Oh, people were asking what I was drinking and what I was wearing. So, let me go back. I was drinking a porn star martini and I was wearing a dress from Oasis. Dress from Oasis. There. Now you know what I was wearing. Would you post a link to Rebecca's channel? Yes, I will. Oh no, it's not a channel. She has an Instagram, but I will. Let me just log in now and I'll grab it. It's _Duchess_of_Sussex. Copy profile URL. Okay, I've posted it now it's in the chat. Yeah, go follow her. Excellent channel. Oh, thank you, Sylvia. You put it in the chat. Thank you. Thank you everyone for complimenting my dress. I was just wondering, was it Squaddy's son who got her those for Christmas? Oh, that is adorable. So cute. All right, moving on. I saw this. Moment of silence for the Cambridge kids, for they will be dragged into a storm that they did not ask to be dragged into. So this came up in an article. I think this is either from the Telegraph or the Times. It says, next year will also see a return of the spring and autumn tours after COVID wreaked havoc with the royal schedule. I see that October marks the 50th anniversary of the iconic Sydney Opera House. Might that merit a royal visit down under? The Prince and Princess of Wales will obviously want to avoid a repeat of their Caribbean tour, which attracted negative publicity. That is such a sly, underhand way of we're going to go where there are less brown people. Perhaps the solution might be to take Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis with them on their next overseas visit if the school time allows. I don't care whether or not the school timetable allows. Those children should not be going on tours. Should be in school or in the house reading Harry Potter like every other normal child in the United Kingdom. And the fact that the press is doing this there, often the press will do things like this to send a signal. We want the kids. We want something. Because you grown-ups aren't giving us anything. We're not making the money unless we're talking about Meghan and Harry. So bring us the kids. And I really respect that Harry, in his Netflix documentary, he added those clips of when he was a child. And, you know, with Eugenie there with him. And the way he was trying to protect his cousin. And the way that they were made to just stand there and act like dancing monkeys. It's just not right. It's not right that the media does this. And it's not right that the certain part of the royalist-loving British public demand that of the royal family's children. No one under the age of 18 should be conducting any type of royal engagement. And even after that, it should be a choice. Right, let's go down your comments. Oh, thank you so much, Ethan Tustin. Hope you're doing well. Oh, Sanye W, thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Wishing you a very, very happy new year. Blogs, isn't this one of Camilla Tomini's Elias articles? I don't actually know which article this came from. Whoever posted it just posted a little snippet. But it definitely sounds like something she would write. Roy and Nika. Yes, Bonnie, taking the kids all the way to the to Sydney. Also, a 26-hour flight just to be used as shields. They took George to Australia as a baby, so I guess it wouldn't surprise me that they take the kids. All right, on to the next thing. Yeah, this came up. Catherine clothes. Not quite sure why the Daily Fail would print this. This is the Daily Fail because they can attract negative press and attention. Maybe someone from the other side of the palace briefing. And the rest went with because she's worth it. Kate's 176k wardrobe. Worth it 40 days of work. Don't know if I agree with that. This is what your money is going towards. I mean, each and every single one of those looks could have been bought from ASOS for a fraction of the price. And we're paying all of this money. It's on at events that have packed. Oh well, this is what the royalists want. They want pretty dresses, coat dresses, and grinning. This is what they want. And also, actually, before I move on to that, there was also another article, a similar one, with Meghan, and it had all of Meghan's clothes price tagged as well. For some, actually, now I know what's happened. I can't see it because it hasn't loaded. Give me a sec. Sorry, folks. Where is that? It is. Where is it now? Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to load for me. But basically, they had another similar one, with Meghan's clothes, calling her the Hollywood Duchess. And at the end of the day, Meghan's money, she can do what she wants with it. She's not tied to the taxpayer anymore. Neither is Harry. I don't care if Harry wants to have a whole closet full of Lamborghinis. I don't care if Meghan wants to have a whole jewelry box full of Cartiers. That's her money now, not the taxpayers' money, and therefore nobody's business. And even when Meghan was a working royal, it was still her friends helping her to get clothes. It was still her buying clothes. They claimed that she was getting money from the duchy, and she wasn't. They even suggested that she goes back to being an actress. And if she had done that, they would have made fun of her for being an actress. They moved the goalposts. Oh, thank you so much, Sunshine. You're so sweet. Tamika, I'm tired of the comparison. There is no comparison. Meghan has her own money. Exactly. She's always had her own money. And just think, that 176K, that's just the clothes. That's not the styling, the staff, the nannies, just the clothes. Like, for real. All right. But following the Netflix documentary, I guess we should have expected this, but it's just always difficult to have to see just a full-on scale attack now in so many other publications. The Daily Mail in Australia, Newsweek, Meghan's losing American sympathy. I mean, I don't know if sympathy is what they were looking for, rather than telling the truth, telling their truth. You've got Closer magazine, which is one of these rag mags. How Harry stopped Meghan going for Kate. And these have just all come out following the Netflix documentary. And they're going full speed ahead with some kind of counter-attack with different publications, TV shows. They've had, Andrew Tate on with Piers Morgan, and we'll get into that in a sec. But how much longer can they keep this up when all they're doing is proving Harry and Meghan's point? I'm actually quite surprised at Newsweek, because Newsweek has written some pretty positive stuff about the Sussexes and about Meghan before. So I guess they're just trying to jump on the hater train now. I don't know. I guess maybe they've realized, you know what? Maybe the hater train cash grab is coming to an end. So we better just grab all the cash we can. And Meghan only spent 79K on clothes. Yeah. And of her own money. And I can bet a lot of those clothes were probably loaned. Designers do loan clothes because they make that money back anyway off of free advertising. All right. So I'm just gonna cover this Andrew Tate thing very, very quickly. And I'm only covering it because first of all, he was set upon Meghan on the Piers Morgan show. They rolled him out after the Netflix documentary to hate on Meghan. Apparently, according to one person on Twitter, Markle and the Sugars are behind this. Congratulations, Sussex Squad. We are the reason why Andrew Tate has been arrested. It's because of us. We are the reason Wish.com Pitbull has been arrested. Basically, long story short, for those of you that don't know what's going on, but I think most of you have heard what's going on, Andrew, Mr. Wish.com Pitbull, went online, started bragging about all the cars he has, and then tweeted Greta about it, because obviously, Greta is an eco-activist. She then responded by belittling his manhood. And 24 hours later, he has been nicked by the Romanian authorities. Now, there have been allegations of trafficking, of R-ing of women, and he is just generally known for being an internet misogynist. I've seen firsthand how dangerous the ideology of individuals like Tate is. A young lady within our family circle was at school, and a friend of hers, there was a boy in their class who attempted to R her in school. And guess who one of his heroes was? It was Andrew Tate. The rhetoric that individuals like Tate are spewing is having an effect on young boys. And that in turn is leading to young girls being collateral for a lot of the hate and misogyny that they are putting out there. And I think that he is taking advantage of the fact that a lot of young men do feel very disillusioned and perhaps don't have positive role models. And men like him, there's a lot like him. Kevin Samuels is another one, recently died. Divine Feminine decided to take him. And it's creating this very toxic environment. And it's not surprising that Tate would take a swipe at Meghan. He definitely wants the clicks and views. Or someone like Greta, who is a very well-known female activist. And he responded in this 10-minute video that was very incoherent, had jokes that didn't really land. And then somebody tweeted, Andrew Tate and Greta Thunberg need to stop flirting and just F already. And then he responded by saying, she ain't ready. Basically insinuating that he wants to have S with a teenage girl. Somebody on Twitter said, so the British media was using Andrew Tate to attack Meghan Markle. Now he's been arrested for human trafficking. See, the people who have the most to say about Meghan are the worst human beings. The karma continues. And just for the record, I do think that there are valid criticisms of the current eco-climate movement, the fact that indigenous people don't have a seat at the table, the fact that a lot of corporations are kind of controlling the conversation and not taking full responsibility for their part in climate change. So I do think there are valid criticisms, but to go after a teenage girl in this type of way, to just be mean and bully and basically just troll for clicks, it's disgusting, and it's influencing people, especially a lot of young men, in a negative way. And Greta, of course, is in the upcoming Netflix documentary Live to Lead, co-produced by Harry and Meghan. And so Tate has been arrested. I'm not going to get into it now, but there's all types of very weird conspiracies about him, his father being in the CIA. But long story short, he's a troll. And if he has genuinely done something wrong, I hope that the authorities can get to the bottom of it and that he can be just arrested and locked away. Because what he is influencing, especially in a lot of young boys and men, is very scary. And I do think they need to make an example of him. So yeah, that is that. I don't really have anything else to say. Jo is up here on the stage, so I will let her speak. And if anybody else wants to come and speak, you can speak also. Alrighty. Actually, let me get to your comments, and then I will let Jo speak. Thank you so much, Bonnie McFarlane. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Happy New Year to you. Sister, Newsweek is a trash magazine. Well, I don't really read it regularly, but the few articles that I've seen pop up on the Squad feed, that I've seen anyway, were positive. If they've posted anything negative about Harry and Meghan, I just haven't seen it. Mina, why would you even be talking about a young girl who's not even around an age limit? Yeah, he's a creep. He said some pretty disgusting things. about women. And I think what worries me most about people like Andrew Tate is that they're very sly in what they do. So they'll say a couple of things that are very common sense, but nothing new that's under the sun that no one has ever, nothing new that's under the sun that 100 or 1,000 people haven't said before, right? And so what his followers will often say is, oh, well, he said this and this and this, and I agree with this. And it's like, well, 1,000 other people he said. Why are you putting so much weight on the fact that he said it? And it's just the way of hiding that they agree with the most nasty things that he says. Sylvia, his rant against Meghan was incoherent. He was saying stuff like Meghan did not cook for Harry. Well, Meghan does cook for Harry, and Harry cooks for Meghan. Do you know what? I didn't actually watch his rant on Piers Morgan's show because I refused to give it views. I have no time for that. But I can just, given what I've seen on or other things that I've heard Andrew say, I can bet it was absolutely incoherent. Right, Joe, I will now let you speak.
Hi, good evening, and good evening, squaddies. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening.
Season's greetings, everybody. Hope you all had a good Christmas. If you celebrated, and those who celebrated Kwanzaa, hope they had a good one. Oh gosh, don't even know where to start, Anne. All I will say is that Meghan is the most expensive clickbait there is out there at the moment, or for the last how many years. It's like everybody and his father who wants to make a buck. Let's talk about Meghan. And the thing is, I wouldn't have minded if some of these people actually knew the woman, had met the woman. I thought it was really interesting what Eva Marcel had to say about her. And I just so want to be able to ring into one of these television or TV programs one day, or radio programs, and just ask a simple question. Doesn't it strike you as strange that everybody who has nothing good to say about Meghan has never met the woman, and the people that have met her have good things to say about her? Like, when does the penny drop? What was really interesting, and I don't know if you saw it, I saw an article today flash up on my news screen, but the coronation is going to be on Archie's birthday. Well, isn't Archie going to be 4? Did they not know when this child was born? And I'm just thinking, I'm just waiting for the fallout, and the blame Meghan for having Archie on the 6th of May is going to be the next thing, isn't it?
I mean, they don't even have a picture with that child other than the official christening picture.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, King's coronation to be on Archie's birthday. Well, duh, you knew when he was born 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, when do these people stop? I mean, and I just think, it just comes back to everything Harry said and Meghan said in the docuseries. And in a way, I'm glad this is coming out the way it is, because once again, they are proving and validating everything this couple have been saying for the longest while. And I don't know how long it's going to take them to actually realize, oh, damn, we're actually validating what they're saying. Or is it that their heads are so in the clouds or so in the sand that they just don't? They're just not reading the room, or they're just not reading at all, it would seem. It's like, I mean, like, I was just dumbstruck when I saw the Jeremy Clarkson article over Christmas. And then I thought, let me wait for the fallout. And the next thing we saw was the photograph of him and Piers Morgan and Judi Dench going to lunch with Camilla. And I just thought, can somebody please stop this? Because it's becoming worse than a sick joke. So here's a woman.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah, she terrorized Harry's mother, literally abused her for the entirety of her marriage. And she bags the husband, and now she's being taunted as this advocate for abused women. But what are you doing to your daughter-in-law? Like, what is it that they're not getting? And, I've said this before, Anne, and I will say it again until the cows come home. I really hope Kate is paying close attention, because her day is coming. Her day is coming, because we've seen it before. We've read the playbook before. I've lived through how they went after Diana, how they went after Sarah. Actually, I even remember in the 80s when Andrew used to date, I think she was from Texas, a model called Koo Stark, and they went after her. But she was older and she really just didn't give a toss. She just carried on with her life. They went after Diana. It was Sarah. It was Sophie. Then Sophie got caught out letting her, as my brother would say, loose lips sink ships, having a rant at the royal family. She was sidelined. Fergie did her dirty. She was sidelined. And then you have William saying that his mother is paranoid. Now, as a woman and a wife and a mother, if I'm sitting there and I'm observing this, there is no way on God's earth that I'm going to sit back and think, oh, well, this is perfectly fine. It's not in any way, shape or form. And now she has a daughter of her own that is already being lined up to be the spare. And I'm really interested to see how they're going to tackle that when it comes. Because, we've all agreed that the kids are out of bounds. They're off limits. But it already started with Louis and it started with Charlotte. And, I keep going back because I am planning to do a podcast. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts as to what angle I'm going to come from it at. But as I look back through the photographs of the Queen's funeral, and I clearly can see that image of Sophie looking over at Meghan completely stone-faced. But the look on little Charlotte's face, I'm thinking, are you not understanding that there are little ones who are looking and learning from yourselves? I just don't get it. I really don't get it. And then I noticed there was brief news about Mike Tindall going into I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And then it just fell off the radar. Interesting, I thought.
Yeah, I think that I think they let him in thinking that he was or under the guise of maybe he would say some things about Harry and Meghan, while in there, but he was generally actually quite muted, and now he's come out and I guess the deals aren't lining up maybe the way he wanted them to, and that's why maybe he's got a bit quiet.
Yeah, or I think he also had a very good word with his legal team that this is not the one to mess with. And again, we see this storm being whipped up. Well, we know what's happening. We know we've got the documentary coming tomorrow, the new documentary coming that they're both producing or directing, and then we've got Harry's book in Jan. So if you see the pattern, it's always when something is about to be released, we have this whole whipping up of a frenzy. But what I find interesting, and what I'm hearing from my folks in the States and in Canada, is that more and more people are now actually tuning into the documentary and actually switching sides. Even those that were on the fence, they're like, no, this doesn't make sense. There's no way Harry should have stuck around, and they're actually gaining more support. Of course, the media is not going to be telling us that because they don't want us to know that. But I'm hearing this from the ground. People are actually looking up and thinking, this isn't right. Surely that can't be right. No wonder they wanted them to be silent. Yes, that's the photograph. And I'm looking at poor Charlotte's face and thinking, wow.
Do you know what? So interesting. This is actually the first time that I'm looking at the photograph. I'm realizing that Charlotte's looking kind of up at Sophie.
Straight at her. Yeah, like what? Yeah. Because, we always have this belief that kids can see the good in people, and they can see, and I always remember my grandmother saying, if you're introducing a child to a person and they don't want to know, do not force the issue. Don't force the issues, because children are very clear with what they see and what they sense. But the way she was looking at Sophie, it was like, poor George looked like a sheep stuck in the middle of a whole bunch of rams that just didn't know what to do with himself. And I have a feeling, I think, and we'll see how this pans out, I think Charlotte might be the one that takes the throne and not George, because I don't think this child is cut out for it. He just seems too fragile and too timid. Yeah, there's something, he never looks at ease. he never looks. I remember photographs of William at that age, and he always, both him and Harry, always looked like happy little boys. But this child just never looks happy and comfortable. And I think as a parent, there must come a point when you say, actually, no, the kids are the priority. I mean, the kids should always be the priority, but he never looks happy.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I actually thought, being the girl, maybe Charlotte would be a little bit more rebellious. But for George, he doesn't really have a choice. Like, he is the heir. So
I mean, I guess
even
he could abdicate.
Even if he wanted to, yeah, he could abdicate. But would the system allow for that? I mean, we say, oh, they could abdicate, but can they? Can they actually abdicate? What consequences would come with that?
I think because it's coming down to a matter of life and death, in this instance, I think they would allow Charlotte, because she's already showing stronger character. Maybe it's because she's the middle child, I don't know, but she's showing more of a strength of personality and her own mind. And I think for that, they would probably rather have her than have George, who may prove to be a weaker king. But I'm just looking at this kid and I'm thinking, you can almost see he's just not really interested. I remember her reminding him as the cortege came past that he needed to bow. And I'm thinking, wow, this little girl is really paying attention to what's going on. Whereas this boy is just almost like, I just don't want to be here, Mummy and Daddy. I just do not want to be doing this. So I'm hoping that somebody is paying attention.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think any child wants to be in this situation, and they are unfortunately just products of their environment. And by all means, when they're older, if they want to carry on royal duties, that should be up to them as grown adults. But the continuation of this kind of like forcing children into the spotlight like this, it needs to end.
Yeah, and I also think I think we may also see a change where George and Charlotte are allowed, and Louis to some extent, to make their own life choices, to do other things before they get to that age of taking over the throne. But I can almost see Charlotte just running away with this, if that's what she wants to do. Because if you think about it, after Charles, it's then William, and then there's nobody until these three kids are old enough. There's nothing in between. So it's literally just like a fight for their life, isn't it?
Well, we do wish them the best anyway, and thank goodness Uncle Harry and Auntie Meghan have opened the door for them, hopefully, to be able to escape if they want to. But thank you so much, Joe.
Lastly, just quickly, I would just say, I hope Harry and Meghan takes the kids on a Caribbean holiday for Archie's birthday and on a tour to Africa.
That sounds great.
Meet your other family. I think that would be wonderful, don't you?
Oh, great. I hope they stay in the nicest resort, because it's not my taxpayer money paying for it.
Of course. But you keep up the amazing work and have a fantastic new year, and to all the Scotties. Yeah, we've really pulled through this year, so 23 is going to be bigger and better. No doubt about it.
Thank you, Joe. All right. Okay, before we head out, thank you so much, Joe, Medal, for the super sticker. There we go. Thank you so much. And thank you much to Queen Bee. Yes, let's enjoy our success. Stay safe and see you in the new year. See you in the new year as well, Queen Bee. Thank you to you. Thank you to everybody who has been so incredibly generous this year, not just with your money, but also with your time, your love, your support. I appreciate it all so much. I mean, what an amazing community we have built. What an amazing, positive, uplifting community that we have built here, on other channels. And there was actually, now that I remember. There was someone that posted this. Can we please stop referring to them as the Sussex Squad? This implies that they actually have droves of supporters. Can we instead call them what they really are? She can't even spell really. They are payroll trolls and are out in full force. Stay strong, y'all. I mean, I'm still waiting for my paycheck from Archwell Limited. Still waiting for my paycheck. I have not been paid by the Archwell crew. Still waiting for my invite to them fancy parties that I see they're having. But this just shows you, doesn't it, that they are clearly threatened by platforms that we have created, the audience that we have, and the reach that we're getting. And now that even people who aren't in the squad can see very clearly what is going on. Anyway, gonna finish up with your comments and then we will roll out. Thank you, everyone. Marjorie, will there be a monarchy for those kids to inherit? That's another good question. I mean, we're sitting here theorizing about what could possibly happen. Will there even be a monarchy? I mean, if Nostradamus' prediction is correct, Charles won't even get to be king. Valerie, how did Harry manage to leave? Well, he's the spare. I've always wondered, is it actually possible for the heir to leave? How would that work? And maybe one day we will find out. I mean, it's not that it hasn't happened before. Obviously, it's happened before. But in these modern times, the media landscape has changed, the political landscape has. I'm thinking of in these times. Yes, we know it's happened before. But would they be, especially now with everything crumbling, they can't afford for an heir to abdicate, is what I'm trying to say. Thank you so much, Shelly. Happy New Year to you. It's probably New Year in Australia already. Yeah, payroll trolls. Tony, payroll trolls. Waiting for my paycheck also. All right, Olivia, I will give you the last word of the day. Happy New Year to everyone. Yes, enjoy your New Year celebrations, but please drink and act responsibly, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow for a review of Live to Lead. Okay? Ciao.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future, know you wanna. She'll never betray ya, she ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming, yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being old mama, yeah, to yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking for
know you guys have played in front of a lot of celebrities, but what was it like to compete in front of royalty tonight? The Prince and Princess of Wales were in the building.
It was just a regular game to me.